beginning biblical Hebrew class. Next week, we'll start the book of Jonah. So I guess we'll just jump right in. I assume that everybody has read through the chapter at least once. We did verses 1 through 10 last week together. So we'll just go ahead and get started. Ward, you want to be our initiator?
Sure. Boaz Allah Hashar Veshevet Sham Veshevet Sham Vayeshev Sham Vahine Hagoal Hagoel Oyev Asher Diber Boaz Vayomer Shura.
Yeah, Shura.
Shura.
It's not an SH. It's just an S.
Oh.
Surah.
Surah. No. Shiva Ho Goli Al Poloni Almoni the Yasar the Yeshev.
So this Vayeshev is the same as this Vayeshev.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Vayeshev is the normal form for the verb consecutive. This is actually a little bit different because it's in pause at the end of the verse, and you see the stress is on the last syllable. Vayeshev. I would still have expected Vayeshev, but we have Vayeshev. Okay.
And so Boaz, I say, went to the gate, and he sat there.
But he went up. He went up
to the gate, and he sat there. And but the Redeemer passed by, and so Boaz said to him, I think.
But the Asher Diber Boaz means about whom Boaz had spoken. Because remember, he told Naomi he told Ruth that there was another Redeemer that he needed to address.
So that Boaz had spoken about, and Boaz, and he said, turn and set here. Just turn, set here.
Yes, this is it's like turn aside. The Lasur has the feeling of the side, like turn aside.
Okay, Sur. And so I looked up Peloni Al-Muni, and it's like that guy. So they just didn't name who he was.
Right.
Didn't give him a name in the text.
Like so and so.
Yeah. So and he turned aside and he sat.
Yep. Okay, verse 2. Hosea, you want to take that?
Okay. Wait. Okay. I'm done. Vayikach Asara Anashim Miziknei Ha'ir Vayomer Shevu Po Vayeshvu. Okay.
Vayeshevu.
Okay. And he took 10 men from the elders of the city, and he said, sit here. And they sat.
This idea of 10 men,
Mm.
it came into Judaism as the idea of a minyan. Minyan is like a quorum of 10 adult men that you need to say certain religious prayers and to constitute a community, if you will. So taking 10 men from the elders of the city basically allowed him to establish them as a community that would observe and see the transaction, and they would serve as witnesses of the thing that happened. All right, the next one. Vayomer lagoel חלקת השדה אשר לאחינו לאלימלך מכרה נעמי השבה משדה מואב. So he said to the Redeemer, that is to Ploni Almoni, the guy that we don't know what his name is, the parcel of land or the part of land, the section of land, which belongs to our brother Elimelech, you know, the one that's dead. Naomi has initiated the sale, like she's initiated the sale of it. Machra is in the past tense. It's basically she started the process of the sale. Which Naomi? The one returning from the country of Moab. Okay, we said that Sadeh normally means field, but when it's talking about a field is in a country, like Sadeh Ashdod or whatever, or a city or whatever, it's talking about the region of it or the country of it. Okay, this is a little bit longer here, word.
ואני אמרתי אגלה אוזנך אוזנך.
The word is ozen. It means ear. Ozen.
Right. Yeah, I actually was just talking to my daughter about that phrase.
Yeah. What did you come up from it? Come up with?
Well, I was just saying it's an interesting idiom. So, like, you know, when we're talking about joking here, we will say, "I'll pull your leg." I know in Mexico, they have no idea what I'm talking about. Down there, say, "We'll take your hair." So I think this is just an idiom, like, I'm going to be, let me tell you something.
Yeah, I'll uncover your ear. Yeah.
So, lemor, so it's saying, kene neged ha yoshivim ונגד זקני עמי אם תגאל ואם לא יגאל הגילדה לי ואדע כי אין זולתך, okay. לגואל ואני לגאול ואני אנוכי אחריך ויאמר אנוכי אגלך.
אגאל.
So up earlier we had Zolotha. Zolotha. So there,
Which, this one?
that's an O, yes.
Mm-hmm. No, it's Zulatcha.
Ozataha, okay.
Notice the meteg, the little line beside it.
That was going to be my question to you. So I thought that meant it was a long A, just a kamatz.
The only exception to that would be in situations like, where is my mouse? Right there, where you've got the short O on the ein, and the one beside it is also O, no omi. Even though it has meteg, it is no omi. Okay. All right. So we're back here. The Aniamalti.
So, and I say, I will uncover your ear, saying, by neged. I don't remember neged.
Well, neged normally means opposite. In this case, it's like in front of, because it's opposite. The people are sitting there, and he's standing facing them. He's opposite them. So, so he's telling him, Naomi is selling this thing, and I wanted to let you know about it, and tell you, acquire this part, this section of land. Okay.
So say
Acquire
buying before these setting ones, the ones setting. If you wish to redeem.
Yeah.
And if not, you redeem. That's the redemption to me.
The Hagida is lahagid, to tell.
Oh, if not, tell me.
Tell
it to me.
So this is a problematic word right there. And if he will not redeem, tell me, and I will know. I want to look at this word, but just a minute after we finish the verse. So if you will not redeem, then tell me, so that I will know, because
that there is not. I'm not sure. Oops. Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Okay. I'm not sure of the.
If we say, if ein means there is not, and ligol means to redeem, it means there is no one to redeem. And zulatcha means apart from you.
Okay. I want to
We
redeem
would
apart
say,
from you.
we use this word zulato, like zulat with o. O means him, to say that there is no God but God. Zulato. En zulato, there is none but him. There's none besides God. So in this case, en zulatcha ligol, there is no one to redeem apart from you. Like you are the one, right? Va'ani acharecha, and I am after you.
I am behind you. And he said, I will redeem her. I will redeem.
Yeah, but in this case, remember, he's only thinking about the parcel of land. He doesn't know anything about Ruth.
Right.
Because Boaz is being sneaky. He's making him agree, and then he's saying, oh, and by the way, you also have to marry this woman and raise up children for her dead husband. Okay, so let's look quickly at this word. Hold on. Changing the share to this. Okay, so this is the text from that. V'im lo yig'al hagidali. Okay, hagida is the imperative. This is the text from the Biblia Hebraica Stuttgartense. Let me unshare to show you this Bible. This is Biblia Hebraica Stuttgartensia. Stuttgartensia is from Stuttgart. It's the German city. In this Bible, you have the text of the Hebrew Bible. And at the bottom of the page, you have a textual apparatus that tells you anything that's different between different manuscripts of the Bible. Are you aware of this version? It's the current Scholars Edition, the academic Bible. After this will be Biblia Hebraica Quinta, which is being released right now in individual volumes, and it hasn't been released in a single volume. And it's really expensive, but it's amazing. Anyway, this is Ruth chapter 4. And I don't know if you can see, but let me point it out. Hold on. Let's see. Vim lo yigal. Oi. It's hard to do with the camera. Vim lo yigal. You see Vim? Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, Vim lo yigal. By the word yigal, there is a little A. Okay. The A leads you to the footnote at the bottom of the page. It shows, oh, come on, focus. For A, molt, ns, vers, tig. I'll show you what it looks like. All right, this is the verse as it is in the VHS, the Stuttgartensia. It has an A. You see that red A? I put it in red. There it goes down to the footnote, which takes you down to 4a, verse 4, letter A. It says molt, which is for multi. Multi is many. MSS is manuscripts. And VRS is version. TIG. This means an abbreviation. So TIG, it means many manuscripts read TIG, that's TIG-al, instead of Yig-al. Obviously, Yig-al is a problematic reading because if he will not redeem, we would expect it to read, if you will not redeem it. If you will not redeem this land, then tell me. But for whatever reason, the text reads Yig-al instead of Tig-al. But that exists in the manuscript tradition as well. I just wanted to show you that because the first time we read it the other day on Thursday, I was like, well, that's problematic. And I imagined that something like that would exist in VHS, and certainly it does. So that's what I wanted to show you. And welcome, Jonathan. You want to pick up verse 5 for us?
If you insist. I'm just kidding. Of course I shall. Vayomer Boaz Bayom kinotcha hasadeh miyad Naomi ume'et Ruth hamoavia eshet hamet. Ooh, wow, that's not very nice. Eshet hamet kanita l'hakim shem hamet al nachalatu. So
you make dead sound like it's her husband. Mate is a English
met.
mate.
Fine, met. Damn it.
Eshet hamet.
I mean, dang it.
Eshet hamet, the wife of the dead man.
Excuse my language. I just read it like the woman of death. It's the dead one. Yeah. Okay, so Boaz said, on the day of your, is that your selling? On the day of your sell, huh?
You're purchasing.
Oh, other way around. On the day of your purchasing of the field from the hand of Naomi, Ume'et Ruth the Moabitess will die?
No.
and from Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of the dead one.
Which is what I don't remember which one she was married to. Machlon or Kilion.
Yeah. Kanita Lahakim. This is kind of strange syntax here.
Think of it as when this happens, this has happened also. Like it's a perfect because it's
you have bought
like a conditional.
So it's kind of like you will have bought, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you will have bought the land, I guess, in order to establish the name of the dead one upon his sandal.
You will have bought from Ruth the obligation to establish a name for his.
What's the obligation?
Well, it's not written, but you will have bought from her to establish the name of the dead.
Yeah, what did I say?
Huh?
What did I say? Lahakim Shem Hamet. Yeah.
That's fine.
To establish the name of the dead one upon his sandal.
Yeah. Not his sandal, upon his allotment.
Oh, his allotment. Is it Nahal, or is sandal Nahal with a hey?
No, sandal is Na'al with ayin.
Na'al. Okay. All right.
So this, first of all, make sure when you say Boaz, it's Boaz and not Boaz. The accent is on the first syllable. What he's saying is basically once you've bought this, you've also bought that. So you're buying a secondary obligation. You just said, Anochi egal, I will perform the redemption. And he says, okay, but just so you know, when you buy this, when you redeem this field from Nomi, you also will be buying this obligation to establish seed for the dead man. Just please turn the ringer off on your phone.
Sorry about that. People are dumb.
All right. So, Lord, you are.
Would you just comment on the word me'et above?
Me'et. Et means with.
Just from with.
Me'et means from with. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's used like if you write a letter, you do it me'et Jason el word, like from Jason to, or lichvod to, for the honor of whoever you're writing to. Me'et. Let's say John the Baptist in the Gospel of John. It says, there came a man sent from God. Remember John chapter 1, verse, 5? There came a man sent from God. His name was John. He was not the light, but he came to give testimony concerning the light. Remember, this is John chapter 1. So when it says sent from God, it would say nishlach me'et Elohim, me'et Elohim. Me'et is from with, like it's with someone and it comes from with that person. Yeah, it happens a lot. Also in the Bible, like you can use min and attach it to other prepositions, like lifnei means before, and mi lifnei means from before.
Okay, thank you.
Very cool. Good question. So do you want to take us through verse Vav 6?
Sure. Vayomer Hagoel lo uhal ligol. It's in ligol. So how do I know this
is? This makaf, this line here, is supposed to be joining these two words together. It's saying that this is actually written in the Bible, ligol.
So that'll make this a short syllable then, a closed syllable.
Because the accent is here. There's no accent on this word, and so this syllable is now closed and unaccented. So it's ligol.
Ligol li. pen ashachit
This is closed
et
syllable. Ashchit.
ushahit ashit et nachelati
Nachalati.
Allah
Ge'al lecha. Ge'al lecha.
Geol laha
So this is the same. This
et
is the same word that we're seeing over and over about the. Where he told him up here, he also used ge'al. See this one? This one's in pause, which is why you have a long kamatz. It's in pause with this katon, the symbol at the top. This is the exact same word, ge'al. Ge'al lecha. Redeem for yourself.
Okay, I'm lost now. Where are
Oh,
we?
I'm highlighting. This is where it is. Ge'al lecha.
Geulati ki lo uhal in this case, right? Uhal ligol.
Lo uchal ligol. All right, so it
Where do we
started over
start?
here.
And he said,
The Redeemer. That's the Redeemer. Goel.
oh, and he said the Redeemer. I said the Redeemer. I am not able to redeem to myself for myself, lest, and then I looked this up, lest I damage, destroy, my inheritance.
Yeah, unless I ruin my own allotment. You know, if I have to go and have children for somebody else, I won't have an heir for my own allotment. So.
And so I think this is Ge'al, you redeem her.
Well, there's no her, but yeah, you redeem.
Or like you redeem, right? You redeem. And then is this you attached to this, or is this going back over here?
It's basically the whole thing is one phrase. Hold on, let's see. This is the verb. This is like a dative of advantage for yourself.
Right.
This is the subject that's being explicitly stated, and this is the direct object.
Okay. So you redeem, and this is what is to be redeemed. It is the is a noun, I guess.
The redemption itself.
The redemption.
Yeah, the redemption.
Redemption itself.
It could be like my redemption obligation or something like that.
Yeah. That I am not able to redeem.
Yep. Oftentimes this ata, the you, is added after an imperative to stress that it's you and not me. Ge'alecha ata et yulati. Like you redeem it. I can't. You redeem it. So it is stressing you. That's really emphatic right there. Good. Hoshea, you will remember this word from Aramaic earlier. That I was really upset about that word in our grammar book. It's supposed to be ikul in Aramaic, ikul, but they had uchal. All right. I think I want to take this one, if we don't mind. Vizot lefanim. Okay, lefanim actually means lifnei. Lifnei zman ma, before some time. Vizot lefanim b'Yisrael al hageulah v'al hatmura לקיים כל דבר שתלף איש נעלו ונתן לרעהו. וזאת התעודה בישראל. Okay, so this in former times, lefanim, this in former times in Israel, concerning the redemption, that is the right of redemption, and concerning bartering or trade, tumura, to exchange things, to trade things.
Okay.
To establish any matter, a man would take off his shoe and give it to his fellow. And this was the certification in Israel. This was to say that this served as like a deed or an official trade in front of the elders of the city. I think that's a very neat verse. I like these types of verses that give you some kind of historical insight to how things were done in the past. I think it's really neat.
Mm-hmm.
Hosea, this is verse chet. Chet means 8.
Okay. 8. Okay. Vayomer Hagoel Leboaz. Kene Lach. Vayishlof Naalo. Okay. And the Redeemer said to Boaz, purchase for yourself, for you, purchase for you. And Shalaf, his sandal, took off. Is that taking off?
Yeah.
Hmm.
The word lishlof, it means pull something out. Anything that's out, anything that's like not seen, to pull it so that it's seen. Like
Okay.
if you have a knife that you're hiding in your jacket, and you're sneaking up on what's his name? What's that guy's name?
Elimelech.
No, the guy the really fat one that he killed. He put his knife into his belly and it swallowed up the fat. I don't remember his name. Don't remember, but he shalaf et sakin. He pulled the knife out.
Eglon.
Eglon, that's his name.
Eglon.
If you have a gun inside your jacket and you pull it out, ata sholef et ha'ekach. So vayishlof na'alo. So his shoes on the ground and he goes like this. Whack! He pulls it up and now it's here. And then he gives it to Boaz.
Okay?
Yeah, shalaf. I love that word, shalaf. If you tell somebody, pull it out, like pull out whatever it is, you say shlof. Shlof, pull it out. That's a neat word. All right. Jonathan, you've come back to join us. Do you want to read verse 9? 9 is tet. Tet is 9. Do you want to read? Before you go into it, I wanted to comment, like we've this word here, vayomer. Everybody should make sure that it's not vayomer. It's not vayomer, it's vayomer. Vayomer. Always vayomer. Vayomer Boaz. Vayomer Hagoel. Vayomer Moshe. Vayomer. Vayomer Adonai. Okay? Always that way. Jonathan, you want to go for it?
Sorry, I didn't know you were talking to me. I got up and put the dishes in the dishwasher and heated up dinner. So, has it already been read, or am I reading?
No.
So, Vayomer Boaz, Lazikenim, V'chol ha'am edim, Atem hayom, ki kaniti.
That's a three-word sentence. So
Edim atem hayom.
Edim atem hayom.
Edim atem hayom. Ki kaniti et kol asher leElimelech ve'et kol asher lehilyon umachlon meyad Naomi. So Boaz said to the elders and all of the people, well, I said this was assembly earlier. This is not assembly. Edim, witnesses, yeah, witnesses. You are witnesses.
It's related to this word, teuda.
Yep.
Teuda is a certification or something that stands as a testament that you've done something.
So you are witnesses today that I have bought at everything belonging to Elimelech, or everything which is to Elimelech, and everything which is to Kilion and Machlon from the hand of Naomi.
Great. Verse 10, this is Yod. Yod is 10. Ward, you want to read this one?
Yep. Ugam et Ruth. Moabihah.
Moaviyah.
Oh, Moaviyah. Moaviyah. Oh, I was putting my A in the wrong place. Moaviyah. Asher. Ashet Malhom. Ashet.
So now we know we know who her husband was.
Yeah, Ashet Mahlon. Kanivti li Isha.
Okay, so let's go back to this one and just pick out the subject, verb, and direct object. Try to simplify the sentence to figure out its structure.
Okay. So, and also Ruth. Ruth is a direct object.
Yep.
The Moabitess, who is the wife of Mahlon, I have bought.
Okay. So we can ignore these words as far as the structure is concerned. We can ignore these words. And so Ruth is the direct object, and Kaniti is the verb. The subject is?
The verb. What's implied in the verb?
And
I.
what is it? I, right.
Boaz.
So I is subject. I bought Ruth. I have acquired Ruth for myself. And this
for
is
the purpose of being a wife.
Great. Okay.
Lehakin Shem. Lehake Shem Hamet al Nahalato Velo Yikaret Shem Hamet Emi.
So this is the same as the word you asked about before. Me'et and me'im are the same word. Essentially, the same meaning.
Echave Misha'ar Me Kumo Edim Kata Mekomo Edim Atem Hayom.
Beautiful. Yep.
Okay.
So you translated the first part just from here to the end.
Kum is to raise up, right? So
yep.
This would be Hiffel or Hofel 1, right?
Hiffel, yeah. Look, Jonathan, did you see that? Did you see him identify Lakim as Hiffel of Kum?
It is.
And he did.
Well, yeah, good job.
Well, I went either Hiffel or Hofel, but anyway. To raise up the name of the dead.
Well, just to be clear, the Hofal doesn't have an infinitive. Like you can't say this in the Hofal. Only Hiffel. Yeah. Also the Pual. The Pual you don't use an infinitive like this in the Pual. Only the Piel and Hifil, Hitpael, Kal, and Nifal have the infinitive like that.
And to raise up the name of the dead concerning his inheritance,
or
and
over.
not to
like
cut.
You raise it up over his inheritance, like you raise his name up over that area.
Okay. And not to cut off the name of the dead from with his brothers, and and from the gates. Mekumot.
Just get rid of the O and you got makom.
No, the place, his place.
Yeah, so from the gate of his place, which means from the
Oh,
gate
okay,
of
his
his
place.
city.
And then you are witnesses this day.
Yep. Great. So we've seen this word nachala. We've seen this many times in this chapter. Nachalato, nachalati. Nachalato is his allotment, like his land apportionment. And nachalati is my allotment that we saw where he said, I don't want to mess up my own allotment, right? Verse 11, Hosea. This Yud Aleph is 11. It's 10 plus 1, Yud Aleph.
Sorry. I just need to move our faces. Vayumru kol ha'am asher basha'ar.
But just be aware that Vayomru is standing by itself. You see it's got these two accents on it. It's got this one and this one. This actually it's got a doubled accent. It's in the Torah trope, it would be kadma ve'azla. It's like kadma ve'azla. It's like Vayomru. Like it's really set off on its own. It's really pretty. And so this is where the quotation begins. All right, let's
Basha'ar vehazkenim edim yitten Adonai et ha'isha haba'ah el beitecha kerachel uchlea asher banu sheteihem et beit Israel va'aseh chayil be'efrata ukra shem beveit lahem. Okay. And they said, all the people all the people that are in the gates, that are in the gate, and the elders testified.
Are witnesses.
Are witnesses. Oh yeah, are witnesses. Yitten. Adonai gave to the woman Haba'ah. Haba'ah. What's Ba'ah?
Well, remember that he's purchasing or acquiring a wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Haisha Haba'a el Betecha. Haba'a el Betecha. The one coming unto your house.
Okay. The one coming unto your house. Be like Rachel and like Leah.
Yeah, so this word with these two, this one, and this one, are making an idiom here. The word yiten or latet, to give, doesn't just mean give, it also means to put, to make. In this case, may the Lord make the woman who's coming into your house like Rachel and like Leah.
Like Rachel and like Leah, who their sons.
Shtehen means the two of them.
The two of them.
The two of them built. The two of them built.
Yes, the two of them built the house of Israel and Aseh Kayil, great Aseh, put and set great.
Yeah, so Aseh here is an infinitive. So do valiantly in it.
do valiantly in Ephrata, and call the name of his house to them, Lachem. Bethlehem.
This
Bethlehem is
looks
a place.
looks like an idiom as well. I'm not sure what this means, but it says, "And call a name in Bethlehem."
Call the name. Maybe
Jonathan,
become
any
prominent.
idea what that might mean? It might be.
Become prominent.
No, but I can go to my English Bible and find out.
Prominent in Bethlehem.
Just as easily as you can.
Yeah, because in
So-
Filipino we have the same idiom.
Just be aware that
I wonder if it's a ritual action.
I don't know. Be aware that
I don't know either.
Natan can mean give or place or make. Okay, that's when you learned Natan in the book, it just said to give, and it has a lot more meanings than that.
So, Jose,
Okay,
you said
so-
you have the same idiom in the Philippines to make a name in Israel or to call a name in Bethlehem?
Hosea?
Sorry. Yes. Yeah. But that's yes. Yeah. Okay. Call the name.
It says be famous.
Famous. Yeah.
In the King James. Let's see what it says in the NIV.
Oh yeah, to call the name of somebody. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, NIV also says be famous. May you have standing in Ephrata and be famous in Bethlehem. All right. Who is our next?
I have a question. This is the two of them was masculine. Is that following the rule of like masculine numbers go with feminine ideas?
No, it's a mixed form. Shtei is feminine, and hem is masculine. A lot of times, it's just that people forget to make feminine endings, and so they make masculine endings. It happens. It's part of natural speech. Everyone today in Israel will say shtehem, like all the time. People will say shtehem even about men because they don't know the difference between shnehem and shtehen. They don't know the difference. Israelis don't know today, and people didn't know back then. A lot of times you just see natural mistakes in language in the Bible. It happens a lot, especially with the ending hem. It often happens that it says hem when it should say hen. You just kind of have to accept it. The real end, like the both of them, if you're talking about men, is shnehem with a nun, and for women it's supposed to be shtehen with a nun here, final nun. But you're going to see it wrong all the time in the Bible and today. It's just something you have to say, okay. Like we sit down the rules and we say, according to the rules, Shtayim is feminine and the hen is the feminine ending, and they go together, shtehen. And masculine is shnayim and hem, and they go together, shnehem. But when it comes to real on the ground language, you really never know. You just as long as you recognize it. So.
I just wondered if there was some meaning there that I was missing.
Jonathan and I have read a lot together, and we have pointed out so many problems of gender discord. It happens a lot. So,
Gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria in the Hebrew Bible.
No. Like the Bible often can't decide if it's grammatically masculine or feminine. All right, so who is on verse 12?
I think that's mine, unless you want it to be yours. So vihi betcha kavet peretz asher yalada tamar lihuda min hazera asher yiten Adonai lecha min hana'ara hazot. All right, so vihi is a form that doesn't occur very much. May your house be like the house Peretz, who gave birth to Tamar
No,
in Judah.
Tamar
Tamar gave birth to Judah. Yeah.
It doesn't sound good that way. Whom Tamar bore to Judah.
To Judah.
Tamar bore to baby.
Judah. Okay. From the seed which the Lord gave to you. What?
May your house
with the Lord
be like
will
the house of
give to
Peretz from the seed that the Lord will give you from that girl.
Yeah, from this girl.
Change Zerah to offspring. It sounds a little bit better. The offspring the Lord will give you.
Yeah. Okay.
Nara doesn't necessarily mean a little girl. It means a young woman.
Right.
We know that she was already married to Machlon. It's pretty safe to assume that she's not a virgin at this point. But Nara, it refers to her age. She's still a young woman. You know? Yeah, okay. So Yud Gimel is 13. I'll take this one. Vayikach Boaz et Ruth, vatihi lo leisha, vayavo elea. Vayiten Adonai la herayon, vateled ben. Vatikach Boaz et Ruth. Boaz took Ruth. I think this means he took her like he took her in to be his wife, of course. Vatihi lo leisha. This is she became his wife. Vatihi lo leisha. The word haya, when it is followed with le as to, like you were to something, it means you became. Vatihi lo leisha. She became for him a wife. She became a wife for him. Vayavo eleha. And he came unto her. Meaning that this is the conjugal visit of the after marriage. That's what it means. He came unto her. And it says, and the Lord gave to her a pregnancy. Herayon is from hara. Hara is pregnant. Herayon is pregnancy. The Lord gave her pregnancy. Vateled ben, and she bore a son. And this is like Tamar Yaldal Yehuda et Peretz. So this is the Lord gave her pregnancy, Vateled ben, and she bore a son. Okay, now we have a nice feminine form, feminine plural. Who will be next, Ward or Hoshea?
I'm not sure. Is it my turn or yours, Jose? I don't know.
I think it's mine.
Okay.
I just think. Vatomarna Hanashim El Noomi Baruch Adonai Asher Lo Baruch Adonai Asher Lo Hishbit Lach Goel Hayom Vayikare Shemo Be-Israel. Vatomarna. And they said to her, the women said to her, to Naomi, okay, sorry. And the women said to Naomi, bless Baruch, bless Adonai, who did not Hishbit. Is this from Shabbat? Who did not?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Who did not
if
rest?
Shabbat means ceased, then this is he caused to cease.
So he did not cause to cease for you a redeemer this day. So how do I read it?
Like withhold or something,
Okay. He did,
maybe.
did not-
I don't know.
he did not cause to stop. Oh yeah, withhold a redeemer to you this day. And ang Vaikare. Again, may famous and famous his name, call his name in Israel. Yeah. And
Yeah.
famous in
So
Israel.
notice this is not vav consecutive. It's not vayikare. It's actually an imperfect with the vav.
Vav.
So this means and may his name be called, or and his name will be called, but it's not the past tense. Okay. Good. So Ward, down to here. This is verse 15. Notice the numbers. I'm sorry. The number here was 14. Yudalet. The next number is tet vav. It's 2. We say 2. Tet vav. This is the number for 15, because if you continued and you added to dalet, the next letter after dalet is hey. So yud hey would be 15, and yud hey is the shortened form of God's name.
I see.
So to avoid writing God's name, instead we write tet vav, which is 9-6. 9-6 together is 15. And the next is tet zayin, which is 9-7 for 16, instead of writing yud vav, which is also a short form of God's name. Okay? So
Well, that's all kinds of confusing.
you get used to it. Remember, in Aramaic, they changed the whole future for to be. He will be.
Yeah,
They
that's what I
changed it
thought
from
of.
yeah, because now it's leheve instead of yeheve. Leheve. They took the yod out to avoid writing God's name. So Ward, you're verse 15, if you would.
Okay. V'haya lach. I can't quite see. I've got to move my thing. I can't see it here. Just a second.
I can move it down.
Move it down just a little bit. Yeah. V'haya lach lamshiv nefesh lemeshiv. Oh, I read it as a savat. Lemeshiv nefesh u lekol kel.
This is that halpel verb, I think, the form. Remember we talked about special stems, and this is one, lechalkel. Lechalkel is to provide money for someone. To
It's a pill pail.
peel pale.
Yeah.
Pale.
Pill pal.
Why not pilpel? Pilpel, not peel pale.
What is the root here?
It's like if an old man gets sick and he has to stock up on medicine and he's walking down the street. How does he carry his medicine? In a pill pail. Oh.
That's
So-
terrible.
So what's the root on this one?
I want to say that it's kaf lamed lam.
Or
I want to say it's
kalal.
kaf
Yeah,
lamed lamed.
yeah, it could be that. Yeah.
But you should
Right.
think of it as its own monster. It is its own thing.
Okay.
The way to remember it is, let's say, economy. In modern Hebrew, the word economy is kalkala. Kalkala. Kalkala, economy. And so lechalkel is to economize, to provide money for something. I don't want to say sponsor, but sustain, something like that, to give money to it. So lechalkelet sevatech means to provide you with an income in your old age.
Anyway,
Seva is gray-haired. It's when you get older, your hair turns gray. Seva is your gray head.
shevatecha, that's your gray hair.
Sevatech, your gray head.
Shivatech. Shivatech.
Well, that's a S.
Sevatecha.
Sevatech. Sevatech.
Sevatech. Ki kulatecha. Kulotech.
What is that word? What is? Do you remember this word?
I don't think so. No.
So we had chamot, which meant a mother-in-law.
Oh,
And
your daughter-in-law.
This is the word for bride or for daughter-in-law. Chalatech.
Your daughter-in-law. Asher ahevatech.
Asher ahevatech.
Leladato.
This is a problematic form. Let's imagine this is Yalada, she gave birth, Yalada, she bore, and Oto. Oto is him. Yiladatu, but the hey is missing. Yiladatu, she gave birth to him, she bore him.
Asher he tov lach mishiv banim.
Yeah. He tovalach mishiv'a banim. The me here is a comparison. So she is better for you than 7 sons. Okay.
I obviously haven't read this far several times. Anyway, and it was to her. This is something about something about returning. No.
Yeah.
To yourself, to your soul.
Returning of soul. Returning the soul means like giving your life back to you.
Psalm 22.
Okay, and then this was your providing an income in your old age, because your daughter-in-law, whom
Asher ahivatech, who loves you,
whom you love, who loves you, and who gave you, and who gave to you.
So for your daughter-in-law who loves you has given birth to him, meaning to the baby.
To him. Given birth to him. And so she is good, and is good to her.
She's better for you, like good for you.
She is
more
better
than,
for you than 7 sons.
In Hebrew, to do comparison, you have an adjective,
Me.
and then you have min, and then whatever you're comparing it to. So she is good to you from 7 sons, means she is good to you more than 7 sons. Means she is better to you.
Oh, sorry.
She's better to you than 7 sons.
I have a question. Why is it ahevatech? Why is that an I-class vowel under the hey?
The hey, because the word for love is ahev.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, the participle is supposed to be ahev and aheva. In modern Hebrew, we say ohev, and it also happens in the Bible, but the actual word was ahev. So this is an older form. Ahevatech. It's the accent is here. Ahevatech. Just like this is an older form. I try to explain anything odd as old.
Or late.
So that's older relative to modern Hebrew, or relative to the Bible as a whole?
relative to the normal form in the Bible.
Okay.
All right. Vatikach Naomi et hayeled. Oh, why do I get this one? So Naomi took the child. It doesn't mean yeled.
Oh, you get your favorite.
It means tinok, right? Naomi took the baby. Vatashitehu becheka, and she put him. She laid him on her breast. Vatahilo leomenet, and she became a nurse for him. Again, the vatahi and the le omenet. She became a nurse for him.
She is literally a cradle robber.
It reminds me of the show Sinner, season 2, where they had a child that was raised by like a commune, and a woman was nursing the child his whole life that was not his mother. It was very odd. I'm not sure if that's what this means, but when I read it earlier, it really it sat wrong on my brain when Vatihilo leomenet, and I'm like, what?
He was like, she was a wet nurse? Oh my God.
But I mean, the chances of her having milk in her old age are kind of low. So I don't know if that's what it means, but that is certainly how it reads. And especially with the next verse, it says basically that everybody thought it was her child. So yeah, it kind of sat weird with me, but I don't know if that's just me. Jonathan, I think you're next.
I think I am too. Vatikrena lo hashechinot shem lemor yulad ben Naomi. Vatikrena.
What form is that?
Pual.
No.
Is it not? Oh, it's not.
There's no PL Pual for
Passive.
Kal passive.
Oh, that's right. I ran into that earlier. That's an unusual call passive pattern, though. Call passive pattern is usually katul, A class, O class.
Oh, that's katul is the participle. This is
the
not a
passive
participle. That's perfect.
Oh, okay.
That's called perfect passive.
Okay. So Yulad ben Naomi Vatikrena shmo Oved Hu Avi Yesai Avi David.
Ma? Avi Ma?
Avi David.
What is it?
Oh, Yesai.
No.
Yeshai.
No.
Yeshai.
Yeshai.
What? Yeah, I said
Yeshai is David's
Yeshai.
father's name.
I corrected myself. Avi, it says Avi David. Right?
Avi
Okay.
Yeshai, Avi David.
So now this is they called, right? Feminine plural.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay, so
that's the neighbors, the neighbor women.
They called him, or they named him? No, it's not. They named him. Oh, it is. Ha-Shechinot. Oh, Ha-Shechinot Shem. Is that the wet nurse? What's the
neighbors?
Oh, the neighbors. The dwelling ones. Yeah, the neighbor women called his name, saying, Yulad ben, a son has been born to Naomi. And they called his name Obed. Maybe a parenthetical. He is the father of Jesse, the father of David.
All right. So the neighbor women were the ones who gave him the name Obed. Because Vatikrena. This is like a repetition of a pattern here. Like it's Vatikrena lo hashchenot shem, and then it's like they interrupted. Okay, they gave him a name, saying, Naomi has had a son, and they called his name Oved. Okay, so it's like these women are the ones who gave him the name Oved. saying that he belonged to Naomi. And then Oved became the father of Yishai, who was father of David. And then we get a small Pakapated Toledot, that is a generations account that goes from Peretz, who was the son of Tamar and Judah. Okay, remember Tamar, if I remember correctly, Tamar was Judah's daughter-in-law, and he thought that she was a prostitute, and he had a baby with her, and his name was Peretz. So anyway, these are the generations of Peretz.
Weren't they brother and sister?
Judah and Tamar?
I think so.
No, sister-in-law.
No? Okay.
Peretz holidet Chetzron. Okay, so Peretz, the word holid is like yalad, but for a man. Holid in the Hifil means he fathered, or he
sired. Like a vampire.
In the first chapter of Matthew, we see that Abraham fathered Isaac. Isaac fathered Jacob, and so on. That's this word, holid. So Peretz holid et Chetzron. Peretz fathered Chetzron. Okay. I want to talk real quickly about holid because this is it's relevant to our chapter in grammar. The root is yalad, or originally walad with a vav. That's the root. Okay, but the vav doesn't like to stand at the beginning of a word, so when it's she gave birth, it's yalad, not walad. It's yalda, not walda, but yalda. We don't like having vav in the beginning of a word. So when we have the root, it changes to yod. Okay, instead of walda, yalda. Instead of walad, which is the Arabic word for a child, we have yeled. Yeled. In one verse in the Bible, we do have walad. It's we say valad. It's the same as the word yeled. It's just an old form. The original form was valad, like in Arabic walad, but we say yeled. Okay. So what happens when we have this root, valad, this root, that goes into the hifil? Okay. The hifil, it adds a hey in the beginning, it adds a yod in the middle. In roots that are not strong roots, instead of hifil, it's haf. So we would have havlid, or if we go and we think the old vav was a W sound, hawlid. Hawlid, the ow, that mix of diphthong, resolved itself as O. So instead of hawlid, we actually say holid. And holid is it's the hifil form of the vav, the first vav root. Okay, so we're going to see this a lot. Where we have yashav, like he sat, it's going to be as if we had how shiv, which means he caused someone to dwell, and we're going to read it as hoshiv. Hoshiv means he caused to dwell, because originally the root was washav, washav with a vav in the beginning. Okay, any root that had a vav in the beginning became ho. Okay, and then we also have roots that actually do have yods, like yatav, something is good, and then we have hetiv, where we have, it was originally high tiv, and the diphthong resolved itself as hetiv. So hetivli means he did good to me. He did good to me. But this is what you're covering in the grammar for this week. I just wanted to give you a taste of it because we have it appear in that specific verse. Okay, so holid means he caused a child to be born. He fathered a child. Okay, and it's related here to toledot. Toledot is from walad. Okay, it's from that root walad, and it means generations. Often in the Bible, you have generational accounts that bookend stories, especially in the Genesis narrative. So here we have a short Toledot account that's giving us the very end to the book of Ruth that will tie us from the story of Elimelech and his family into King David. Yeah. So I talked a lot. I'm sorry about that. But Ward, you want to go ahead and read Yud Tet, which is 19. It's 10 and 9. Yud Tet.
Vehezron, Holid, et Ram, Veram, Holid, et Ominadav, Ominadav.
Yep. Okay. Next.
Aminadav. With an A. Aminadav.
Yeah, Amin means my people, Ami. And Nadav is tied to the idea of generosity. Nadav is like my people are generous. Hoshea, the next one.
Okay. Ve'aminadav holid et Nachshon. Ve'Nachshon holid et Shalma. Okay. Salma. Okay. And
okay, Jonathan.
Okay.
Oh, we don't need it. We don't need it. It's pretty straightforward. You're on mute. I can see you're giggling and laughing, but we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. I said the salmon salmon. Salmon. The salmon holid et Boaz, uvoaz holid et Oved.
Yeah, and Oved is where it's the baby that was being nursed by his grandmother. Notice that Salma, I think we're supposed to assume that Salma and Salmon are the same person. Salma, Salmon. That's interesting. And it says, Oved holid et Yishai, Yishai holid et David. And that's where we get to David. Having said that, let's see how we're doing on time. We still have a little bit of time. I want to take you very quickly into the New Testament and show you how Matthew opens. If you don't mind, just it's interesting. So this is the New Testament in Hebrew. This is the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 1. It says, Sefer Ayuchasin Shel Yeshua Mashiach ben David ben Abraham. Okay, the book of the genealogy of Jesus, the Christ, the son of David, son of Abraham. Abraham holid et Yitzchak. Yitzchak holid et Yaakov. Yaakov holid et Yehuda v'et Achav. Yehuda holid et Peretz v'et Zerach miTamar. Okay, there's the same people. Tamar had Peretz, remember? Peretz holid et Chetzron, v'Chetzron holid et Ram. These are the same people we just read about. Ram holid et Aminadav, Aminadav holid et Nachshon, v'Nachshon holid et Salmon. Salmon holid et Boaz meRachav. Okay, Rachav. Rahab was Boaz's mother. Rahab. Boaz holid et Oved meRuth. Okay, Ruth. ועובד הוליד את ישי, ישי הוליד את דוד המלך, דוד הוליד את שלמה מזו שהייתה אשת אוריה. The one that was Uriah's wife. שלמה הוליד את רחבעם, רחבעם הוליד את אביה, ואביה הוליד את עשה. And we keep going, עשה הוליד את יהושפט, יהושפט הוליד את יורם, ויורם הוליד את עוזיהו. Uzziyahu was an important king in the Bible. עוזיהו הוליד את יותם, יותם הוליד את אחז, ואחז הוליד את חזקיהו. חזקיהו הוליד את מנשה, מנשה הוליד את עמון, ועמון הוליד את יאשיהו. יאשיהו הוליד את יחוניהו ואת אחיו בימי גלות בבל. We talked about the word galut in our grammar class the other day, galut from going into exile. This is the exile of Babylon, the deportation. לאחר שהוגלו, that's הופל, הוגלו בבבל, when they were, or Bavela, excuse me, when they were deported to Babylon, הוליד יחוניהו את שאלתיאל, ושאלתיאל הוליד את זרובבל. זרובבל הוליד את אביהוד, אביהוד הוליד את אליקים, אליקים הוליד את עזור, עזור הוליד את צדוק, צדוק הוליד את יכין, ויכין הוליד את אליהוד. אליהוד הוליד את אלעזר, אלעזר הוליד את מתן, ומתן הוליד את יעקב, יעקב הוליד את יוסף, בעל מרים, אשר ממנו נולד ישוע הנקרא משיח. And that is probably the first time that you've read through the genealogy in Matthew chapter 1, and it actually made sense, and the characters were people that you recognized.
Right, true.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I enjoyed reading the genealogy in Matthew chapter 1. So, does that make sense to you?
That's fine.
Yes. You said something about the Septuagint too earlier.
Yeah, I was, no, just before we started, I was about to read through Ruth in the Septuagint. I don't know what I wanted to point out about it. I don't know. But I showed you in the Biblia Hebraica Stuttgartensia that that one verse, that the word is supposed to be Tigal instead of Yigal. I showed you that. Also, in the Septuagint, it's also it's translated in the second person, not in the third person. So I think that it's on good footing to change that letter from Yigal to Tigal. Okay, this was very fruitful, I think. We are finished with the book of Ruth. You have read an entire book.
And most people don't do this until the second year. So you guys are doing awesome.
So you've read an entire book from the Bible, completely in Hebrew, and we are going to start Jonah this week. I would recommend that you go ahead and start reading with that like comic strip thing that we have on animatedhebrew.com, because it's got the pictures and it's really neat. I've been looking forward to getting to the book of Jonah just because of that. And yeah.
Okay.
What do I need to share? We need to decide after Jonah what we'll be reading, because we'll have a couple of weeks where we don't have any assignment. According to the textbook, I think they have the book of Esther. I think they have Esther in the book.
Esther's a good intermediate text. We could do some sprinklings from Genesis.
I was thinking maybe we could do the 10 Commandments.
That'd be good. That'd be very interesting.
I often suggest to people, like even to Jonathan, I was talking to him about it today or yesterday, about the Septuagint and doing memory work, taking the Septuagint and memorizing the 10 Commandments. But if you want to memorize the 10 Commandments in Hebrew, I think that would be an excellent thing to do.
I was gonna say I need to learn Greek first before I start memorizing.
Yeah.
I need to learn LXX.
So if you want, I can put together, like I did for the Shema a long time ago, last year, put together some readings for the 10 Commandments so that you can work on memorization.
I had the Shema memorized at one point.
Shema.
I don't remember all of it now.
I think the 10 Commandments would be good. I also think it'd be good to force us to go back and do the Shema again.
Yeah, I think that we're going to have to start going back on that because I'm going to have to come up with some kind of final exam for you guys. And
It kind of drifted. It's drifting away from me if I don't repeat it.
Mhm. So I'll put together the 10 Commandments, and we should start working on the Shema again. I don't know if you necessarily. Let's not go back on Genesis 1. I think we had enough of that. But we'll do the Shema from Deuteronomy chapter 6 and the 10 Commandments from Deuteronomy chapter 5 or Exodus 20. Which one should I do? I don't know. One or the other. I'll put one together for you and I'll throw it up.
Great.
Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording now. Bye, YouTube people. Please study Hebrew and let us know if you have questions.